Cigars are celebratory.
Cigars are flying off the shelves at local smoke shops for a long-time tradition.
More communities are coming together to help those affected by Hurricane Helene. We'll show you how the Vol Shop is getting involved. We are only 17 days away from Election Day. Thanks for joining us for Vol News. I'm Carson Lowry.
And I'm Grayson Thatcher. Records have already been broken in Georgia. Here in Knox County, 13,000 people have already casted their votes.
Our Kyla Berry joins us now to break down
many issues will remain the
what did
same.
you learn?
Economy. Yeah, guys, many polling locations opened up this week, but the Howard Baker School is making it easier for students and faculty to vote right here on Rocky Top. I spoke with two students who are making sure their vote is cast early. Faculty, staff, and community members can cast their vote for the 2024 presidential election at the Howard Baker School in the last 4 days in the month of October.
Week of October. For 4 days, there'll be early voting held on the first floor here in the Toyota Auditorium.
Preston Reeker, a junior, is casting his vote early to skip the long lines.
Easier, and it avoids that stress of it being packed.
While Ava Pizzarusso is traveling back home to cast her vote before November 4th.
New York, so I have to get that in before the election comes.
One of the reasons why the Baker School hosts a polling location is the importance of having access to voting at UT.
This is a convenient location for many people, particularly people who, of course, work at the University of Tennessee.
Josh Dunn, the director of Institute of American Civics, says it's what the Baker School supports.
To get people in, get them involved in the voting process.
Focused on getting people prepared to cast their vote.
Election, as we just had a series of events in the Baker School and also with the Institute of American Civics on some key issues that are going to come up in the elections.
All aimed at making it easier for students to vote on Rocky Top.
Part of that, we view it as a service to the community.
In Knoxville, Kyla Berry. This week, I collected a survey to find out which issue is the most important to students for the 2024 elections. Students had the option of picking abortion, economy, climate change, or gun policy. And the biggest concerns are the economy and abortion. I spoke with those same students about their biggest political issues for the 2024 presidential election. Each presidential cycle, many issues will remain the same. Economy, healthcare, reproductive rights, and more. I spoke with Josh Dunn, the director of American Civics, on why this might be the case.
It's not surprising to hear that those two issues have been expressed as significant concerns for UT students.
For first-time voter Preston Reeker, the economy is at the top of his concerns.
One of the issues for me, I'll go with everyone else, is economy. I feel like that's very important.
Ava Pizzarusso is feeling the effects.
Inflation is just so high, especially living in New York. Prices are up. Like, I transferred here. I went to school in DC also. Prices are up there.
Something Dunn says will affect first-time voters the most.
They're going to be entering the workforce even sooner, and so these concerns about the economy are going to be even more pressing for them.
Causing a challenge after post-grad.
Have someone with a good, well-paying job, but still not be able to afford to buy a first house.
And he says most voters are retrospective.
That means they tend to reward or punish the party in power based on the past economic performance.
That division in American democracy is apparent to Reeker.
You're either A or you're B, and there's no in between, and people are looking at you differently for it.
Dunn says this division needs to come together for democracy.
Recognizing that perhaps some of our disagreements, even if we still disagree, are ones that we can live with each other over.
In Knoxville, Kyla Berry, Vol News.
Kyla, when will the Baker School hold another event?
Yeah, the next event is Wednesday. Our very own journalism professor, Catherine Luther, will join the school to discuss disinformation and interfaces in national elections.
Thanks, Kyla.
Even with lots of online and campus resources for first-time voters, there's still confusion about the voting process.
On top of the busy lives of college students, being a first-time voter can be stressful. Many students are juggling classes, jobs, extracurricular activities, and their social lives, leaving little time to learn about the voting process. First-time voters face challenges like where to register, how to request absentee ballots, and where their polling place is. UT student Carly Kaminsky is one of many first-time voters experiencing these challenges.
I've definitely encountered some challenges in understanding like the voting process as far as like first-time voters, like whether they have to vote in person or they can send a mail-in vote and what the dates are for requesting an absentee ballot.
If you are eager to vote but facing similar challenges, you can visit the website vols.utk.edu for help.
Your Vols take on the Crimson Tide tomorrow. Faith Applewhite joins us now with what you can expect from the weather. Faith?
Thanks, guys. Good afternoon, Vols. I'm your weather anchor, Faith Applewhite, bringing you a game day forecast for this weekend. Kickoff time is set for 3:30 p.m. Saturday afternoon should be sunny with clear skies. Temperature will start comfortably in the low 70s at game time and then fall into the high 50s towards the end of the game. Wishing our Vols the best of luck this weekend. We will discuss the full weekend forecast later in the show. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Faith.
Hurricane Helene devastated the mountains of western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee.
As these towns are still trying to recover, I spoke with 2 UT students about the devastation their hometowns have faced and what they are doing to help.
When you think of western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee, you think of the mountains. You would never think a place like that would be hit by a hurricane, but Hurricane Helene proved us all wrong.
I remember looking outside and it looked as if like the mountain evergreens were moving like palm trees do like when a thunderstorm hits like the coast. Like you could tell it was like a tropical wind. It wasn't like a mountain storm.
Stockton Ware, a junior from Boone, North Carolina, drove home for the hurricane, thinking Boone would be a safer place to take shelter. Unfortunately, that was not the case.
There was a tree that fell on our house around 9 a.m. I remember walking out like onto the roads and seeing entire chunks of the highways just gone.
Ware's hometown was not the only one affected by Helene. Junior Raquel Torres's hometown of Erwin, Tennessee, was fully submerged in water. The water reached to the tops of houses and other buildings, including the hospital, where helicopters had to fly in and airlift patients out of town. As soon as she found out about the devastation, Torres got to work.
So the night that the hurricane hit, I started a donation. I sent a mass message to the girls in my sorority that explained like what was going on. I sent pictures, videos. I explained that like I needed clothes, I needed water bottle because the water was contaminated.
Torres's donation drive spread past her own sorority. Members of other organizations on campus donated money, food, water, clothing, toys, diapers, batteries, and many other things for Torres to take back to Erwin. Towns like Erwin and Boone are still in devastation and are still in need. If you are looking for a way to help, you can go to redcross.org to find out more information. In Knoxville, I'm Carson Lowry, Vol News.
For more information on ways you can help support victims of Hurricane Helene, visit redcross.org.
If you went to the Florida game this weekend, you probably noticed the UT Spirit Squad rocking some new shirts. It's connected to an initiative in the Vol Shop supporting those affected by Hurricane Helene.
All of the money collected from the sales of Mountain Strong merch will be donated to charities helping people affected by Hurricane Helene. Our Alexis Brunson brings us behind the scenes.
Hurricane Helene had a big impact on people in our community.
And as someone who isn't in like a hurricane affected area, I can't even imagine like the devastation that's gone on.
However, that has inspired a surge in the community's volunteer spirit as people have come together to help those impacted.
And you know, that's really what being a volunteer is all about.
And how do victims of Hurricane Helene and the Vol Shop intersect? Well, it's the Mountain Strong shirt. According to the assistant marketing director for the Vol Shop, Corey Ham, it all started with the post from UT football.
Almost immediately, people were commenting like, Vol Shop, you need to get this and have it all go to hurricane relief. So we reached out to a local vendor, Bacon & Company, and they kind of got the process all going.
And now they have decals, shirts, and hats available at 3 Vol Shops near campus.
So it's been really very successful. We're really proud of it.
And are delighting many Vol fans.
I want one of these shirts just because as somebody who isn't affected by the hurricane, I want to show others who are that I'm supporting them.
So while Mountain Strong on its own might not seem like much, is directly helping many people in our community as they recover from Hurricane Helene. In Knoxville, Alexis Brunson, Vol News.
If you can't get there in person to support but want to, all of the Mountain Strong merch can be bought online at utvolshop.com. As a college student, keeping up with your physical health might be the last thing on your mind.
Our Madison Sims explains how the Student Health Center is helping ensure the well-being of everyone.
That's right, guys. Keeping track of your health in college can be stressful, but the Student Health Center is making it easy and accessible for all Vols to stay in the know with their sexual health.
About 1 in 4 college students has a sexually transmitted infection, and the University of Tennessee, in collaboration with Positively Living and the Choice Health Network, are helping Vols know their status with free testing clinics.
Both the Pride Center and the Student Health Center really prioritize holistic wellness, and so the partnership just felt really natural to all of us.
Carmen North is the Community Health Data Analyst in the Student Health Center. She shared that the partnership started in 2017 with the Pride Center, but soon after extended to Student Health, after noticing that a high volume of students testing positive for HIV and hepatitis C were also positive for other sexually transmitted infections.
It's really important to be tested and treated early so that you can both stop more serious illness and also keep from spreading.
And these testings are not only free, but convenient. Students can add their preferred testing dates to their calendars with just one click of a button.
Amelia Romero, a prevention education specialist at the Choice Health Network, says that it's great to see young people taking charge of their sexual health.
When we've seen great results with people showing up and getting tested for other STIs as well as the rapid HIV and Hep C testing.
But coming in for a screening can be a little daunting, and Romero shared how the network alleviates some of that stress.
And if students do feel like they want a more discreet option, we do offer at-home testing, which is completely free on our website, where they can order an at-home testing kit with free shipping as well as free of cost.
The next clinic will be hosted on Friday, October 18th at the Student Health Center. In Knoxville, Madison Sims, Fall News.
To get an at-home access kit, you can visit choicehealthnetwork.org and fill out the form that says At-Home HIV Test Request Form, or call 865-525-1540 to speak with a prevention team member.
Thanks, Madison. On Saturday, one of the most popular traditions in all of college football will happen inside Neyland Stadium. The winner between Tennessee and Alabama will smoke victory cigars after the game.
Maybe you've gotten yours already. Stores around Knoxville are seeing their cigars fly off the shelves ahead of Saturday. I spoke with a shop owner and a fan about the tradition. A 63-year-old tradition making its annual comeback this weekend.
They steal stuff from us, we steal stuff from them.
It began in 1961 after Alabama had been on a consistent losing streak. Their head trainer bet the team that if they beat Tennessee, he'd buy them all cigars.
I think he just continued to buy the players cigars for the Tennessee game. And then fans started seeing the players smoking it, and then on and on and on.
It's the third Saturday in October, the Tennessee versus Alabama rivalry.
If you ask anybody here, they're going to tell you it's the most important game of the season, just because it's the third Saturday in October.
While the teams started playing each other in 1901, the tradition came years later.
My whole time in the cigar business, only once.
In the past 20 years, the Vols have only lit their cigars 3 times.
The fans knew we were going to win. That's why they came out the way they did.
The most memorable when fans rushed the field 2 years ago.
It was just a mad rush to the field. I got thrown over the wall onto the field. I think I twisted my ankle a little bit.
I looked back at 22 and we actually doubled our sales. Literally doubled our sales.
In 2022, Smokies sold the cigar that Coach Heupel smoked.
It was actually the Oliva V. Meliano Torpedo.
Smokies watched to see what cigars were among the winners in 2022, making sure they were an option for fans when purchasing.
Coach Heupel, the cigar he smoked, the cigar Peyton smoked, the cigar Jalen Hyatt smoked.
All among the list of options this week. But the question remains, who will be lighting their cigars this weekend? In Knoxville, I'm Grayson Thatcher, Vol News. Now don't worry, you still have time to get your cigar and have it ready for a Vol victory tomorrow evening.
Vol football had a nail biter last week
drops,
going
looks,
into
being
overtime.
pressured. Bam, sacked back at the 25-yard line.
And a battle for the Lady Vols volleyball.
Steps
How'd
up,
they end
sacked
up?
back at the 6-yard line.
Welcome back to Vol.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We are the Tennessee Volunteers. People who create connections, push boundaries, do the research that changes lives. We've got world-class academics and championship athletics. To be the best, you gotta learn from the best. And if you wanna lead, you gotta light the way. We've got what it takes. It takes a volunteer.
Welcome back to Vol News. There is always plenty to look forward to in the world of sports.
But there's also plenty to recap. Presley and Samara are here to break down everything you missed.
Thanks, guys.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rocky Top Sports Report. My name is Presley Rhodes.
And my name is Samara Carpenter, bringing you up to date on all things sports here on Rocky Top. Let's get started.
This past weekend, our Tennessee Vols took down the Florida Gators in overtime 23-17. Junior Dylan Sampson had a night as he ran for 3 touchdowns, which included the deciding overtime touchdown. Sampson finished the night off with a total of 112 yards and a career high of 27 carries. Once again, the Vols defense ran the show as they tallied 12 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. Christian Charles, Joshua Josephs, Boo Carter, and James Pierce Jr. all recorded 7 tackles each. As Florida came up empty on the first possession of overtime, the Vols made a 5-play drive with a 1-yard plunge to earn the victory over the Gators. After Saturday, James Pierce Jr. was named SEC Co-Defensive Lineman of the Week, while rookie defensive back Boo Carter earned SEC Co-Freshman of the Week. While there was a victory against the Gators, Tennessee also suffered a loss. Middle linebacker Keenan Pili has been reported as out for the remainder of the season after he tore a ligament in his knee on Saturday. As we near closer to the 3rd Saturday of October, the Vols are getting ready to host none other than Alabama Crimson Tide in Neyland Stadium. Entering this game, Alabama is currently ranked number 7 in the AP poll, while Tennessee sits at 11.
Now we go to Jackson Schock and Brandon Goggins as they ask Tennessee students how they feel about the upcoming matchup with the Tide.
I'm Jackson Schock.
And I'm Brandon Goggins.
We're here on this trip to figure out how people really feel about the University of Alabama football team.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I'm excited to see what these people are going to say, so let's just go ahead and do it.
Let's see what we got.
If you could describe Alabama football in one word, what would that word be?
Annoying.
Trash.
Terrible.
Terrible. Garbage. Can I get more words?
Bums.
Terrible.
Wasteful. Raccoon food. What are we doing?
If you could send one message to the Alabama football team ahead of next week's game, what would that message be?
F you. Don't come here.
Get a job. Get a new job.
Ryan Williams, you're my GOAT, but I don't like your team.
Go home.
Ryan Williams cannot be 17 and yell some bums.
Go Vols and go home.
If Kalen DeBoer was standing right in front of you right now, what would you say to him? Run. Jump off a bridge.
Kalen DeFraud. I don't even know who that is.
Bro, I like that. Kalen DeFraud. If Tennessee beats Alabama, what's your victory celebration looking like?
Storming the field, not waking up for a few days.
Many things. Partying, celebrations. Hopefully storming the field if I get a ticket. Storming the field, and I probably as a pre-law guy, I probably can't say everything else we can be doing. I'm getting Stokely dining hall food for everybody. Stokely on me. Y'all heard it here first. Stokely's gonna be on me for free.
All right, BG, well, were you surprised by those results at all?
I can't say that I was too surprised. That went about how I expected it to.
All right, well, for Rocky Top Rundown, I'm Jackson Shuck.
And I'm Brandon Goggins. Back to you in the studio.
Lady Vols soccer team celebrated senior night with a hard-fought match against Auburn. Goalkeeper Ali Zazar delivered an impressive performance, making 3 crucial saves that kept the Lady Vols in the game. Zazar's contributions added to her growing tally of career saves, showcasing her resilience in the face of Auburn's aggressive offense. Reese Mattern and Jenna Steyart both fought hard on offense, adding to the score for the Lady Vols, making sure to keep the momentum alive and working to give the Lady Vols a fighting chance. Despite their determined effort, they ultimately fell short, suffering a narrow 2-3 loss to the Tigers. Following this tough game, the Lady Vols now sit at number 9 in the rankings. As they look ahead, their focus shifts to an upcoming showdown at the University of Georgia, where they will face off against the Bulldogs in what promises to be an intense toe-to-toe battle. Fans can expect a thrilling match as the Lady Vols aim to bounce back and reclaim their momentum on the road.
Speaking of the Lady Vols, our very own Brandon Goggins got a look at one aspect of new Lady Vol basketball head coach Kim Caldwell's practice. Our Lady
Objectives and strategies she carried at Marshall University. While Coach Caldwell is not technically a teacher, she uses a familiar classroom tool to help her players stay on top of their respective games.
So we do a whiteboard and we'll have different things that we hold them accountable for every day, and we'll give them a mark, and so we just publicly put it up there and hey, this is what needs to be fixed, and sometimes we'll have a consequence, sometimes we'll just use it as a teaching point, but just making sure that they're self-aware.
The whiteboard is an effective visual cue to help players keep track of their production. Whether it's tallying missed layups, turnovers, or offensive rebounds allowed, each player can attach a number to their performance and have an easier way to track their improvement.
Sometimes as a player you make the same mistake 4 or 5 times and you don't really realize it over a 2-hour practice, but when you have to see it and you compare it to everyone else, then you do kind of realize it's something that needs to be fixed, and so it's not a player favorite.
While the players may not enjoy the consequences of their tallies on the whiteboard, they will definitely enjoy the results when they pay off throughout the season. For Rocky Top Rundown, I'm Brandon Goggins.
Our Lady Vols volleyball team came up short on Wednesday night in a tough battle against number 15 Kentucky 3-1. The Lady Vols had 3 players reach double-digit kills in the contest, with outside hitter Hayden Kubik leading with 14 kills. This contest makes for Kubik's 4th double-double of the season while recording 15 digs, 2 assists, and 1 block. Following Kubik, freshman right side Peyton Chapman had 12 kills, 4 digs, and 2 blocks, while transfer Nina Kajik finished with 11 kills, 6 digs, and her match best of 4 aces. Tennessee as a whole came up short in the match with 54 kills and 47 assists on offense and posting 58 digs but only 5 blocks defensively. Freshman middle Chelsea Sutton tallied 7 of those kills while achieving her match high of 4 blocks. Sophomore star Caroline Kerr also had a night, posting her 4th double-double of the season with 42 assists and 13 digs. Up next, the Lady Vols will host the 25th ranked Auburn Tigers this Saturday afternoon at the Food City Center.
Coming up, and what resources are available for students and faculty affected by Hurricane Helene? We have answers to that question next.
The Tennessee men's tennis team is putting in extra work to ensure their stellar season continues maintaining the momentum they've built throughout the year. Shunsuke Mitsui remains a standout, achieving a major career milestone by earning his 100th singles win. His dominance on the court has secured him a spot in the final round of both singles and doubles at the regional championship. Meanwhile, Alex Kotzen has also proven his resilience, claiming 5 key victories to secure his place in the championship. Fans can look forward to seeing him compete for the title alongside Mitsui. As a team, the Vols brought home an impressive total of 20 wins during their tournament, keeping their name and reputation as strong as they continue their march toward further success. Moving to women's tennis, Catherine Aaliyah and Elsa Tumase brought home the win at the ITA Valley Regional Championship. They played a total of 60 games with over 40 wins. With the doubles championship in their hands, they have an automatic bid to the NCAA Individual Championship set in Waco, Texas, November 19th through the 23rd. That's all we have for this edition of Rocky Top Sports Report.
We'll be right back here next week, keeping you up to date on all things sports here on Rocky Top. Now for some weather updates and so much more.
Thanks, guys.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We are the Tennessee Volunteers. People who create connections, push boundaries, do the research that changes lives. We've got world-class academics and championship athletics. To be the best, you gotta learn from the best. And if you wanna lead, you gotta light the way. We've got what it takes. It takes a volunteer.
Hey Vols, let's talk about our forecast for this weekend here in Knoxville. So far, today has been mostly sunny with clear skies. Temperatures should reach a high near 68 with calm winds during the day and get down to around 68 degrees later in the evening. Saturday should warm up for us a little bit. Mostly sunny skies throughout the day with a high near 73 with calm winds. Temperatures cool down later in the day with a low in the mid-50s. To top off our weekend, Sunday morning will be starting pretty cool with some sunshine, with temperatures reaching the mid-40s in the morning. However, later in the day, things look to get a little warmer with temperatures reaching a high near 74 and cooling off again to a low of 44 degrees to round the day. That's all I have for you this weekend. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Faith. The Center for Basic Needs is providing ample support and resources for victims of Hurricane Helene.
The center has a lot of plans in place in case of disasters. So when we were hit by Hurricane Helene, they were ready. They're providing extra food and hygiene products and have increased their stock in the Big Orange Pantry. They also partner with other outside organizations to provide showers and laundry services to those without access to water. They also plan to continually work with UT victims of Hurricane Helene to ensure that they get back on their feet.
We're working individually with our community members to make sure that, hey, here's what you need right now, but also what's your game plan for down the road?
The center advises anyone who needs help or support to reach out by coming to their office in the Student Union in room 383 or email them at basicneeds@utk.edu. Do you love getting your nails done but can't keep up with the high prices?
Our Aubrey Corinne takes us to a solution cheaper and closer than you might think.
Thanks. You may know how much of a struggle it is to find a friendly nail salon that does a good job. Throw a typical college student's budget into the mix, and that task becomes nearly impossible. One UT student decided to take matters into her own hands.
Or just, plain, or adding any designs. I'm kind of growing on what type of designs I do.
I saw her on the UT 2028 story, so I added her and I texted her, and she could get me in a week after, not even, I think.
But the most appealing factor for her student clients is the price.
If I do plain, it's just $25, but if I do a design, $30. But I'm leaning more towards going to $35 if the design is very extravagant.
Or for others like Lainey Carter, it's the convenience.
It's closer, it's on campus, so I can just walk here after class, and it's really enjoyable to just talk to another student.
For Savannah, it's not about high prices, it's about catering to students' self-care needs.
Everyone's broke in college, and I'm there's people that are paying for their own tuition here, and I'm like, if you're just wanting some good self-care and to feel pretty and feel more confident, then I shouldn't be taking advantage over, that money-wise.
In Knoxville, I'm Aubrey Curran, Vol News.
She was painting many nails, you guess it, orange, to support the Volunteers as they face Bama tomorrow.
Aubrey, how can students contact Savannah?
To contact Savannah, you can search up SavvyNails_UTK on Instagram and message her directly.
Thanks, Aubrey. Just north of downtown Knoxville at Emory Place, you can find the newly opened immersive art experience known as Knox Walls. Dogwood Arts partnered with Visit Knoxville and the Lilienthal Gallery to plan and execute a large public art project in the heart of Knoxville.
Our Jackson Berg spoke with Shannon Herron, the marketing and creative director at Dogwood Arts, to learn more about what Knox Walls are and why they were created.
Just north of downtown Knoxville at Emory Place, you can find the newly opened immersive art experience known as Knox Walls. Dogwood Arts partnered with Visit Knoxville and Lilienthal Gallery to plan and execute a large public art project in the heart of Knoxville. I spoke with Shannon Herron, the marketing and creative director at Dogwood Arts, to learn more about what Knox Walls are and why they were created.
It's 7,000 square feet of murals by 13 artists from across the country, 12 murals. We have one collaborative piece here. It's a really beautiful space. It's right in between downtown Knoxville and Old North, and so we're trying to have it, connect what's going on downtown with public art with all the great things happening in North Knoxville as well.
A nationwide call for artists was sent out at the beginning of the process, and the top 13 were selected to participate, coming from as far as Puerto Rico to as local as right here in Knoxville.
The Knox Walls just held their grand opening on October 4th and now have hours from Wednesday to Sunday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m.
What makes these murals unique is the floor-to-ceiling artwork that was created on these buildings, which creates the immersive experience that was initially intended when creating the project. Knox Walls at Emory Place is a permanent installation, but talks of expanding the project to other areas in Knoxville are already taking place.
So we're excited for the program to continue expanding. This is really just the beginning of Knox Walls.
You can visit knoxwalls.com for any important updates or information regarding the project. Reporting in Knoxville, Jackson Berg.
I was there for opening night, and it was really great to see how that space was just brought to life by so much art. For now, that's all we have for you this week, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grayson Thatcher.
And I'm Carson Lowry. Stay safe, light those cigars, and go Vols.